When multinational companies are conducting investigations across into China, what are the biggest hurdles they're running into right now?
One of the most significant challenges, we would say, is the conflict of laws, especially in cases involving US regulations such as the FCPA, which requires global compliance. But in the meantime, we know that Chinese laws sometimes restrict certain types of cooperation with foreign authorities. Even though we know that the current US administration has paused active DOJ enforcement of FCPA, we know many multinational companies still believe that this is likely to be a temporary thing. So future administration may reinstate even more aggressive enforcement of FCPA. And in the meantime, SEC still continue to pursue FCPA sanctions. So companies operating in China, we would suggest to maintain fully compliant with FCPA requirements, even when this enforcement appears to be quiet.
Can you walk us through a specific example? Which Chinese laws or regulations are catching companies off guard and creating these jurisdictional headaches?
Certain Chinese laws, such as the International Criminal Judicial Assistance Law, we call it ICJAL, prohibits companies from providing evidence or cooperating with foreign authorities without prior Chinese government approval. So while this does not fundamentally preclude internal investigations of this kind, such investigations must be conducted strictly in accordance with above-mentioned Chinese laws. So also, the landscape is further complicated by other blocking statutes in China, such as the measures for blocking proper extraterritorial application of foreign laws and the anti-foreign sanctions law. So these laws aim to push back against foreign legal demands, which are deemed as interference with Chinese sovereignty and legal autonomy.
Now, beyond the jurisdictional issues, what are some of the local compliance requirements that companies might want to watch out for when they're operating in China?
The first one is the data privacy regulations, such as the Personal Information Protection Law and the Data Security Law. So like other laws, for example, like GDPR, these two laws restrict how protected data can be collected, processed, and transferred across borders. Another important one is the state secrets laws and regulations. These laws prohibit the unauthorized access, handling, or transmission of information that could be deemed as related to national security or sovereignty. So violations of such laws may also result in significant legal exposure, sometimes even the criminal liability. And adding to that, for example, in some cases, such as the bribery or fraud cases, this case is often highly sophisticated and sometimes even involving multiple intermediaries and concealed transactions. So investigations of this kind must therefore be carefully tailored and legally sound. To add on, other external factors like regulatory uncertainty, the geopolitical tensions I've mentioned, and reputation risks can also impact the scope and strategy of a certain investigation.
Now, for the general counsels and in-house legal teams that are watching this interview today and are dealing with these issues firsthand, what's your top advice for them?
Companies should take a risk-based and a locally informed approach. So this includes engaging experienced PRC counsels, leveraging and mobilizing local resources, and maintaining strict legal compliance throughout the whole process. In a nutshell, we would suggest you to be proactive, adaptive, and well supported. All these factors are essential to conducting effective and successful investigations in China.